My mother passed away 3 years ago. The family home, where I and my sister grew up, was willed to me. It was her ancestral property, and she wanted her daughter to have it. The other vacation home went to my 16-year-old sister. Our father remarried 6 months after Mom passed away and moved his new wife in. My sister says that woman has removed all of our family pictures from the main living area. She has removed our mom's pictures as well. Now all of these pictures adorn the walls of my sister's room. Recently our father and his wife announced that they were pregnant with twins. My sister didn't take it well. She's still not over Mom's death and had a breakdown after the announcement. The night of my sister's 16th birthday party, she brought a lot of friends over and the party went on till the next morning. My dad's wife, who was out with our father on vacation, returned the same morning and lost her cool when she saw the kids passed out on the living room. Our dad knew about the party, they just got home earlier than expected. His wife proceeded to lose her cool and had a big shouting match with my sister. She said that my sister was just like our mom and was a burden on our dad. She then asked her to leave and sent her packing to our aunts. I was furious when I got to know about it. I showed up home the next day and asked them to leave within a week. She's 7 months pregnant and had no idea that the house belonged to me. I know I shouldn't be kicking a pregnant woman out, but I don't want my spineless father and his wife to abuse my sister anymore. My father called me a cruel brat and now wants to challenge our mom's will. He can try. My mom's family has already appointed their family lawyer to fight my case. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Don't feel guilty about the bit with her being pregnant. No amount of hormones will ever be an excuse to belittle and degrade a child and her mother's memory. It sounds like this woman wants to be the only woman in your father's life. She comes across as very controlling. I'm sorry for the loss of your mother and I hope your sister is finding a way to cope with the lose and trauma of the step incubator. I would move your sister back into the house and present your dad, in writing, that he can either deal with her living there or he can pack up his things and find a new place to live in X amount of days. An eviction ultimatum if you will. Not the idiot, I guess you know that deep down you're not. My mom passed around the same time yours did, for that I offer condolences. Your sister is in a terrible place. Being 16, when you need your mom the most. Your dad was supposed to step up, instead he literally stepped aside. Taking the pictures down, calling her a burden, etc. is where this should have ended. Where your dad has failed, you stepped up and that's admirable. Going forward, focus on your sister. Dad's an adult making his own decisions and that's fine, but neither you nor sister need to be a part of that toxicity. Not the idiot. But they are likely considered your tenants and kicking them out without following all the legalities will just get you into trouble. Do it properly. But also, what is your sister going to do? She is a minor, she likely will have to keep living with dad or go where dad tells her to until she is 18. Maybe consider letting them keep living in the house for a couple more years as leverage for your sister's well-being. Things have been great with my girlfriend for the most part. We, 28, 26, have been together 4 years and living together for 2. Lately there's been some tension, so I feel like maybe that's why things may have boiled over. We both work a lot, so we have both been very cranky and moody. Especially my girlfriend, who snapped at me a few times and been in a really bad mood. For the past few days what's really set her off is my cooking. I'm usually the one making breakfast, packing our lunches, and dinner. Literally any time I've been at the stove, she complains about how bad the smell is and gives me crap about using stuff that has obviously gone bad according to her. Or saying it tastes like crap, won't even finish eating. This has pissed me off. I'm not a chef, but I do pride myself in my cooking, and she's talking about how bad my food is. I've had my coworkers try my lunch and they tell me it tastes just fine. I figured with all the stress she's under at work she probably needed an outlet to let out her frustration. And maybe that's why she's giving me crap about simple things. I don't know. But I snapped a little this morning when again she complained about the omelet I was making us. So I actually dumped the eggs in the trash, told her she can make her own damn breakfast for herself then, and I'm not cooking for her anymore if she's gonna keep acting spoiled about what I make. We ended up having an argument over this and we left for work mad. Anyways, my girlfriend didn't come home and her sister called me. My girlfriend's mad at me and her sister thought I was being idiot for reacting so immaturely by refusing to cook for her anymore when I know she works a lot, So sometimes she doesn't have the time to prep her own meals. I don't know why this was turned into a bigger deal, but here I am sitting at home wondering if I was being an idiot for losing my cool and telling her I'm not cooking for her. Just didn't think it's fair for her to be talking crap about my cooking when she never has before, and thought, well, if she doesn't like it, then she can take over the kitchen. Was I an idiot? Not the idiot. Just a thought, but my wife's sense of smell became mega acute when she fell pregnant. Any chance? If not that, she needs to start cooking then, problem solved. It doesn't matter how much somebody works, people have been working for centuries and I'm sure still went home and cooked. When I was growing up, it was eating what was cooked or drinking some water. Tell your girlfriend to drink some water for dinner. If she has time to complain and give you crap about food you make for her, then she has time to cook her own food. Your snapping was a natural reaction to the constant unwarranted and unhelpful negative comments from your GF, so I won't call you an idiot for that. Let her cool down and calmly discuss things. Put a boundary that if she doesn't like your food, then she can either cook her own meals or order out. Not the idiot. My older sister boyfriend works in a restaurant. He did the same thing. Comes home, can't flip off his switch, tells her everything that is wrong with her cooking and how it's plated. At one point my sister just went, "No, what? Cook yourself from now on if it's so wrong. I'm done." He was left speechless and shocked. Apparently the guy didn't even notice how he was constantly criticizing her by his work standards. Not being able to prep her own meals is just an excuse. She can do it right before going to bed. It's a thing and it's called time management. Of course her sister will take her side, otherwise that kind of behavior would not be enabled for so long. Update: it was super late when I posted this and I was gonna wait until morning to talk to her. I had a missed call from my girlfriend, so I called her back. Totally different tune this time. My girlfriend was really apologetic about the way she was acting and didn't realize how much of an idiot she was being. Her words, not mine, I swear, until she talked more with her sister. Apparently her sis didn't have the full details of the fight. My girlfriend was just extremely upset, and while she told her what we fought about, I guess the state my girlfriend was in at the moment made her think the fight was a lot bigger than it actually was. Hence her reaction. She didn't know this was going on for days until they talked about it last night. Even her sister was like, "Seriously?" Yeah, that helped her see how crappy she was being towards me. Her sister also apologized to me, by the way. I said my piece to her. It wasn't cool being used as her punching bag, and I don't deserve that kind of disrespect from her. Especially when I'm here cooking meals for both of us. My girlfriend was really understanding of that, and we both agreed to talk crap out instead of letting it all boil up to the point where we're both snapping at each other. Okay, so getting back to what everyone's been wanting to hear, my girlfriend got home and I decided to bring up her issues with the smell thing. Hoping she wouldn't rip my head off for implying she was only mad 'cause hormones. Her reaction was priceless though, because clearly she didn't think about that either. So yep, we took a quick trip to CVS and got us a couple tests just to be sure. We came home and yep, they're positive. Holy crap, I can't believe you guys were right about that. I'm feeling like a bit of an idiot for not knowing that. But anyways, yeah, we're pregnant and freaked out. But still super excited. My girl for sure cried, and okay, me too a little bit. She's calling her doctor to make an appointment though just to be sure, but yeah, for right now looks like we got a little squish on the way and I can't stop thinking about it. It's too crazy. I know lots of you keep asking, so there's an update. This has been a freaking roller coaster. Awesome update: this happened to me when I got pregnant. I couldn't even stand my husband's smell. I couldn't have meat cooking in the house at all. I couldn't drink coffee, all sorts of crap I didn't like when I was pregnant. I'm so glad that this turned out to be a good update. That's awesome. Congratulations to both of you. The other night I went out to a bar with some buddies of mine. This was my first time visiting this bar. When I gave the bartender my driver's license as ID, he confiscated it, stating that he doesn't think the person in the picture looks like me. It is an older photo of me. I went on a diet and am now about 30 pounds slimmer than I was in the picture, and no longer have the prominent mustache that I do in the photo. Additionally, for whatever reason, lighting maybe, I look a bit darker, tanner and more Hispanic. I'm half, in my ID photo, than I usually appear. But since my diet and mustache shaving, I've used that exact ID literally hundreds of times with no problem. Somehow, Everyone prior has had the facial recognition to connect the man in the ID photo and myself. What's this guy's problem? I argued with the bartender for a long time, but he stood his ground and refused to give it back. As my friends drank their beers, I, who am personally very active on social media, made a Facebook post and a tweet about the incident, telling people how they stole my driver's license, warning people not to go there, and calling them a shady crap hole. In both of my posts, I tagged the bar's official Facebook page, Twitter handle so that when people search for the bar, my posts will pop up first thing. I asked for the manager, and he sided with the bartender. I continued arguing, and told him about the posts. Finally, I gave the manager an ultimatum: if give me my ID back, I will delete my posts ASAP, will leave, and will put this incident and the drama associated with it 100% in the past. I swear, give my ID back and it'll be over. No hard feelings. I'll be out of your hair. I showed him on my phone the number of responses/likes I'd already received, emphasized how much it could damage his business. Eventually, he sighed and conceded. If you promise you'll get rid of those posts, and this whole thing is going to be over, then fine. I reaffirmed my promise, and he gave me back my ID finally, and apologized for what he said was an unfortunate misunderstanding. I could tell that he still didn't believe my ID was legit, but didn't want his bar to receive too much negative publicity online. I didn't delete my posts, though. By the time I woke up the next morning, they'd received a ton more attention, and I saw I'd received a private message on Facebook from the company's page. "Hey there, bud," it read. "Remember our agreement? You promised you'd remove these posts. I got you your ID back and we're sorry about the incident. Can you please make sure we put this in the past as we agreed upon?" I responded to his message, "Screw you," and blocked him immediately afterwards. After that, I typed up a formal complaint about the incident and sent it to his chain manager. It's part of a chain of 3 bars in my state. Was I an idiot for this? Not the idiot. If they're going to unethically steal your valid ID, then it's reasonable to use dishonesty to get it back. That ID was rightfully yours, and the manager holding it hostage to get you to delete your honest social media posts to get him out of a jam of his own creation has no right to expect you to uphold an agreement he forced you into under duress. I would even add to your original post the fact that the restaurant tried to force you to delete the posts in order to get your ID back. You are the idiot. If you have that much of a physical change, especially a prominent mustache, then get a new ID picture. They have every right to confiscate your ID if they think it's fake, because serving someone who is underage is super illegal and can result in huge fines. And if you were underage and got caught, you would be fined as well. Next time, call the cops, tell them what happened, and they will come sort it out. And then in the end, after talking about your horrible treatment on Facebook, you made an agreement and then didn't hold up your end of it. That's an idiot behavior all day, because your posts aren't true anymore. You have your ID back. Shouldn't this bar have a legit ID card scanner or people trained to tell a fake ID? IDs differ by state, but they should have an up-to-date book of what state-issued IDs should have. This is basic manager training on how to deal with this situation for most customer service jobs that involve carding people. Refuse service if you aren't sure, but keeping an ID that you have no idea is fake or not is just stupid. I've confiscated an ID that straight had a photo pasted over it, but that's a no-brainer. Just send them on their merry way and keep an eye out if they come back. I'm getting a lot of flack from my wife for being visibly upset at her friend, and I am currently in a state of being where I just don't want to be around her right now. This woman had a rebound relationship and got pregnant. She told my wife that she preferred to go rubberless, and, wouldn't you know it, when she missed her period, she insisted there was no way she could be pregnant. My wife and I had a feeling after her 3rd missed week that she was pregnant. At work, she asked her, "If you are pregnant, are you thinking of getting an abortion?" The friend responded, "Absolutely not. I would literally never do that. If anything, adoption." Relieved, we offered to take her child. We realized that it was financially difficult for her, so we even offered to help her out money-wise as well as emotional and familial support before and after the baby was born. I'll let it be known that she actually made us believe that if she were pregnant, we'd adopt it. This got me emotionally attached to the idea, because she said that, at the very bottom line, she'd never ever even think about abortion. It got brought up weekly for about a month. They're really close. This wasn't intruding, just causal conversation, until she went silent. We didn't hear from her for about 10 days. She sends my wife a text and says she got an abortion. While I understand her fear, and realistically I don't fully understand since I'm a guy, I feel like I got bait and switched with a potential child of mine. I know it wasn't mine, but the reason I'm so upset is because she actually had us believing that this child could have been a part of our lives. This goes beyond an abortion debate. It got real and emotional investment happened. I have a hard time seeing her, so when she comes over, my wife intentionally keeps distance by hanging out with her on the porch while I go work or hang out in the basement. I understand she's probably hurt, but I feel hurt too, and I just need time to get to a place where I can be civil and polite, because right now, in my heart, I'm not. No idiots here. You are allowed to be upset as you had significant emotional investment in this, but she most definitely has a lot of complicated emotions that, like you said, aren't fully understandable to you. As long as you're not blaming her, then this is fine. If that's the case and you haven't yet, it might be worth communicating to your wife that you're upset at the circumstances, not the friend. You are the idiot. It sounds like you guys assumed she was pregnant and immediately got it into your head that you wanted to adopt the unborn fetus. Your wife was relieved when she said she wasn't getting an abortion, and asking that was rude. It's a shame for you guys, but you kind of set yourself up here for having this expectation immediately that you'd adopt this fetus. She had just found out and hadn't even had time to think before you swooped in. All of your behavior just sounds so selfish, and it reads like you were happy to find a friend whose baby you could adopt so it would be easier on you guys. I don't see any consideration towards her here. You are the idiot. It seems like an idea you two thought up and latched onto far too early on. Maybe there were complications that she doesn't want to go into detail about, or maybe she felt pressured into doing this since y'all kept bringing it up. Either way, she wasn't even into her second month of pregnancy. You should calm down.